Hello, good evening. It's not Friday, it's Thursday this week. We are back. We've had a bit of an interval, haven't we, due to the fact there was no games. I was away last week, but we are back. Of course, it's been back in the swing of things again. We've had one match, of course, last weekend. We've got another London derby to come this weekend. There is, of course, a little Champions League game as well coming in midweek as well. So there's a lot to get through. Plus, of course, any other news from the last, 2 or 3 weeks we've been away. So please stay with us because it's all coming up the other side of this. So we are back, Andreas. Good to see you again. How are you? It's been a long time.
Yeah, not bad at all. And hello everybody. I'm so glad to be back with our show, with the WSL, with the Arsenal women. To be honest, I was really missing something with this long international break. Two weeks international break, and then no game before and after. It's good to be back. And for me, traveling starts again tomorrow. So next week, 3 important games at home. Yeah, looking forward to everything and, of course, to our show.
Yes, it's a big week, of course, coming up. More London derbies to come and very, very big, important matches as well, of course, for our targets for the season, of course, with the Champions League, the WSL, the FA Cup to come as well. So it's all happening. But before we can look forward, of course, as always, we do have to look back. We were finally back in action. There was finally a game it seemed like, as Andreas said, it seemed like the first game for about 6 months. And it was, of course, a London derby to kick us back up with. And it was, of course, the reverse fixture for the very first game of the season, which was at the Emirates. Of course, this was away against London City Lionesses. And it turned out to be another very solid performance. Now, I've got to be honest, I was a little bit worried about what effect the break would have. You know, sometimes, we've been building up a bit of momentum beforehand, winning a lot of games. And I was kind of a bit worried that the break might sort of put a dent in things and we'd almost have to start again. And maybe it might have been like that had we not managed to get the early goal. And I do think an early goal in any game is important, but particularly when we haven't played for ages. It was nice to get the early goal. It settled everything down. And yes, it wasn't the most free-flowing, amazing team performance. No, wasn't expecting it, to be honest. But what we did do was we managed the game really well. We looked pretty solid throughout. We always looked like we were going to win the game from the moment we took the lead. And, of course, we managed to seal the victory late on with a goal from the super sub, Stina, who seems to have this habit, doesn't she, of popping up with these goals coming off the bench. And she's now actually our top goal scorer in the WSL this season, amazingly enough. She's actually scored more than Leslie Russo in the league. Yes, that overall Leslie scored more in total, but in the WSL, she's our top scorer with 6. So she's having a good season, Stina, and she did it again. But this was just a really sort of professional, solid performance, I thought. The sort of performance where you know it's going to be a tricky game, and you've just got to go there and find a way to win. And we did. I thought we won reasonably comfortably in the end. Yes, they had a few chances, but we looked fairly in control, didn't we? And a good 3 points. I mean, what did you make of the game, Andreas? Because I mean, it was an important victory, wasn't it? Really important victory.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And normally after an international break, it happens that even the top teams struggle a bit to find their rhythm back. And we saw it often that not only Arsenal but other big teams have that difficulties after international breaks or lose points or come through with a result but not with a good game. So therefore, I think 2-0 away at London City Lionesses is a good result. And as you said, the early goal helped us, of course. I don't know what happens when we go 0-0 at halftime, because you can't say we totally dominated them, or London City is not a dangerous team. Yes, they are. They have a lot of very good players. I was a bit astonished that players like Issy Christiansen didn't start. Yeah, we were missing our Australian players, and Olivia Smith once again. It was maybe a lucky goal, but you have to be there. And yeah, of course, the conditions, the wind, etc., maybe all helped a bit for this goal. But you have to be there, and you have to take this chance. And that's what Olivia does week after week. She scored important goals for us, and yeah, of course, it was then easier to play with 1-0 up. And yeah, then second half, middle of the second half, the second goal, and I think after the second goal, there was no danger, no thought that we couldn't win this game. When only 1-0 up, yeah, you can always concede one goal. There's yeah, a worldie, or yeah, you make one mistake, or it's a corner. So therefore, it was dangerous. But after the second goal, I think yeah, the deal was sealed, and we brought it home. And in a few weeks, nobody will ask how good did you play in Bromley against LCL. No, did you win, or did you lose points? And when you look at the statistics, we had 58% ball possession, 12 to 8 shots, but only 2 shots on goal, same number as LCL had. We had 9 corners, they had only 1. This shows again, set pieces is a masterclass for our men's team, but not for our women's team. From 9 corners, nothing. There is a lot of work to be done. But yeah, the goal from Stina, yes, this was a typical Stina goal. She had no chance to think, just one touch. The pass from Leslie, and then one touch and shot on goal, it's a goal. If you give Stina time, if you say, oh, there is no defender around you, just think about how you can score, she would miss it. But that's her strength, to not think, and just one touch and she scores. And yeah, you're right, she scores the important goals for us too, and she often comes up only as a sub, and therefore being the leading goal scorer for our team. Yeah, that speaks for her. But as I often said, for me, she's a super sub. And if she's happy with this role, then I would like to keep her, because is there a better second striker in the league? Not better. So, yeah. You are right. And yeah, therefore, let's keep her if she's happy with this role, and yeah, bring her on after the second half, or after 60 minutes, and then she's always a danger. Every opponent knows her strength and the runs she makes, but it's so difficult to defend, especially when your defenders get tired, and then someone like Stina comes on with her runs, with her pace, her quick decisions. Yeah, so yeah, that's great. And in the end, I was happy with the 3 points. Look at the table now. United yesterday lost 2 points, so it was very important. And yeah, let's find our rhythm and move forward.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, maybe this was a good game to come back to after the break. Not having a North London derby or the Chelsea game or a game like that. It was nice maybe to get a game. No disrespect to London City Lionesses, because as you rightly said, they've got some very good individual players. They're not quite ready as a team yet, are they, to really push on? I think they could be, but at the minute they're a little bit of a bunch of individuals that are good, but they're not as good a team as they maybe could be or will be. But I thought this was a good game to come back to, really. And yeah, we got the job done. I mean, in a way, maybe Stina is a little bit of a victim of her own success. The fact she comes off the bench so often and scores so often from that position means it's almost like, well, she's such a great weapon to have on the bench. And, you know, if you're the manager of the team, you'd think, well, actually, that might be it's definitely a good option to have Stina to come on later in the game, like you said, against a tiring defence. She comes on, she always looks sharp, and she generally will get you a goal. Yes, I think she deserves more minutes on the pitch. I think she deserves to start more games, but I totally understand her role at this moment in time does appear to be that super sub role, as she did in the Champions League final, and she's done so many other times previously. And yeah, she's definitely effective. There's no doubt about that. And and she's scoring a lot of goals despite a lack of starts in the team. So, but it was a good. Well, it wasn't a fantastic team performance. It was a decent team performance, wasn't it? We did what we had to do. Yes, you're right. We had the Australians missing, so we had to maybe fill in a few positions in the team. But ultimately, you could see the squad depth that we've got. Players stepping in and doing a good job. Leah Williamson back was what was nice to see as well. And I just thought that it looked like a really good way to get back into the swing of it all again, ahead of what is not only a big week coming up, which we're going to talk about, but a big rest of the season with what's at stake and what's still possible for this team. So yeah, let's put that game behind us now. It was a good solid victory. Another clean sheet. That's 4 clean sheets in a row. It's in the WSL now. We've got the best defensive record in the league, which is incredible, really. When you look at the fact that we've been saying that maybe the centre back, apart from Leah Williamson, have we got another real top quality centre back? You have to say, have we? I mean, Steph Catley's done a good job there. Lotta does a good job when she plays. Are they top quality players? But yet we've got the best defensive record in the league, and we've had to do it with 2 different goalkeepers as well. Due to injury to Daphne, and Nick Ball's come in and done fantastic. Got her place back after her injury. Shows what a brilliant job she's been doing, and it's clean sheet after clean sheet. Fantastic. And we always know we're going to score goals. We know we will. We've got enough quality, and it's the good basis, isn't it? And it's just frustrating that we dropped all those points early in the season, because we should be in that title race. We should be there battling with Man City all the way now. And yes, they dropped some points, didn't they? Well, we were off and they had a game and they drew. And they need a few more results like that. Maybe the pressure will get to them. We'll have to see. But yeah, I was pleased with the performance, actually, because I wasn't expecting fireworks. I didn't think we'd win 5-6-0. I knew it would be a difficult game, and we got the job done, and well played to the whole squad that contributed to that. But of course, with that game now out of the way, we're now really, really getting in to the kind of crux of the season, really, aren't we? It's going to be the next few weeks, next 2 or 3 weeks are going to be make or break for the season, aren't they? Either it's going to be building up to a really big crescendo again, or it's all going to be over in the next couple of weeks, isn't it? We could be out of everything and wondering what's gone wrong and where it's all gone. But we've got Top Shelf with us. Says, welcome back, guys. Yeah, good to see you all again. Looking like Champions League next year for sure. Well, I don't know about yet. It's looking good. We're in a good position with the games in hand that we've got, and we're playing well. We're getting results. We're not conceding goals, but there's still a lot of work to do yet, and there's some tough games to come. But yeah, hopefully, I mean, that's got to be the minimum expectation, hasn't it? That we're in the Champions League again. We've got to be there, quite honestly. It's looking good at the minute, but let's not get carried away quite yet. There's plenty of games that we can still slip up in. As the Champions League progresses, if we make progress in that, is it going to be like last season? There could be some league games that we have to maybe throw a little bit and drop some points. So it's certainly not guaranteed yet, but at the minute it's looking good. And I'll be surprised right now if we don't get top 3 at least. But let's wait and see what happens first, because there is a long way to go. And of course, the next game coming up is, well, it's a game we should win. It's another London derby. But you can never take any game for granted these days, not even against the teams struggling at the bottom, because, of course, with potentially 2 teams going down, this could be a big game for our opponents as well. So, yeah, West Ham are a funny team, aren't they? You look at some of their players and you think, why are they always struggling at the wrong end of the table every season? Surely they should be doing better, but they never seem to. But they always seem to find a way to get themselves out of trouble. Obviously, this year is going to be more difficult because of the league increasing. They are going to potentially relegate 2 teams. They could be in a playoff with the team that comes, is it 3rd in the League 2? So be interesting to see what happens with that. But for the time being, all we need to worry about is getting the result. I mean, we have had one or two struggles against West Ham, actually. They've been a bit of a thorn in our side a little bit, particularly the away game has been a few problems. But if you remember last season, we played at Meadow Park. It was that game that was 4-3, wasn't it? When we were losing 3-1 at one point and we had to dig deep and come back and win. So we've had our problems against West Ham. They have caused us some issues in the past. But I think the way we're playing at the moment, we look to be in a good place. And I think at the Emirates as well, I don't think we played West Ham at the Emirates before. I think it's always been at Meadow Park. So this is a new experience for them. The bigger pitch, I think we'll take advantage of that. We normally play well at the Emirates anyway. We haven't lost there all season. So I fully expect us to win this game fairly comfortably. But as I said before, you can't take it for granted. I mean, obviously, you're going to be there on Saturday. What are you sort of looking forward to in this game? What do you think is going to be clear? I mean, we should win, shouldn't we? Let's be honest. Unless some miracle, disaster result happens, I mean, we should win.
Yeah, we're absolutely favorite for this game. And if you compare the squads from Arsenal and West Ham, everybody says Arsenal is going to win comfortably. But didn't they play yesterday against? No, it was on the weekend against Man City, and they drew. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
I think so. Or I have to check. They got a surprising result, but no, it was yesterday against Man United.
Man United, they drew 0-0 with Man United. Yeah,
they played 0-0, and we know that. United is not the team that scores a lot of goals. But anyway, before I would have said it's a clear thing United will win against West Ham. So they didn't manage to. So don't underestimate them. Have respect for every opponent, as I always say. And they have a few very good players like Shakira Martinez, like Vivian Asseyi. So, have respect and be concentrated. And normally it should be another game to, it should not sound disrespectful, but a game to warm up for the really important tasks that are coming. Champions League quarterfinals, then the North London Derby, the FA Cup, and London City, and now West Ham. Good opponents to come back to a flow or find our rhythm. So at home, as you said, it's the first time for West Ham to play at the Emirates. They are never playing in their big stadium. I think they are the only club in the WSL who never plays in the big stadium, their home game. So for them, it will be a new experience or a different experience to play in a big stadium. And we won't have the biggest attendance, but let's say we have 25,000. This is something the West Ham players are not used to. And at home, with our quality, I expect nothing else than a victory and hopefully a comfortable win, and not being 1-0 up and then sitting there and praying that the 90 minutes will be over. No, my prediction is 3-0. I'm optimistic because I think you can see how concentrated everybody in our squad, in our team is, and they know about the importance of every game. And of course, everybody's looking forward to the Chelsea game. You don't want to go into the first leg against Chelsea with a draw or a loss against a team like West Ham. This would be terrible for the self-confidence.
No, absolutely. I mean, it is a strange one because you're right. I mean, I think West Ham, because they got that 0-0 against Manchester United, they're going to come to the Emirates to try and hang on for a 0-0 again, aren't they? You would expect, and maybe look for a set piece. And they have caused us problems from set pieces, haven't they, previously as well? It certainly won't be an easy game. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But we should have too much for them. My only concern, maybe slightly, would be because of the Chelsea game that's coming up. our mind's going to be slightly distracted by that game. I know it shouldn't be. They're professionals. They've got to concentrate on the game that's there, and I'm sure they will. But it's easy, isn't it, to sometimes think a little bit further ahead and know what's coming. Will that be an impact maybe on team selection as well? You know, will there be one or two changes for the West Ham game, resting one or two people for the Chelsea game? Maybe is that going to have an impact on the game? It shouldn't do. We've got a big enough, good enough squad to be able to rotate a few players in the team and still be able to produce a performance good enough to beat West Ham, who are struggling at the bottom of the table. But they're fighting for their lives, aren't they? And teams like that never make life easy, do they? You know, when a team's desperate for points, they'll do anything to get a point, and you know I'm sure they'll try and stop our rhythm. You know, commit a few tactical fouls and waste some time and do what they can to try to disrupt it all. And that's probably their best option. Their only hope really of getting any sort of a result. But we should be far too strong, let's be honest. We should be. And even if we do rest a few players, I'm sure that what'll happen is we'll bring on the big players later on in the game if necessary and get the win that we need. Hopefully we won't need to do it that way because we'll be 2 or 3 up fairly comfortably and we can cruise through. But let's see. I think an early goal would be fantastic because then West Ham have got no option. They can't sit back. They're going to have to come out and do something, and that's going to make it easier for us. So I think an early goal would be great, but it won't be easy to get that early goal. Sometimes at the Emirates, the one thing you'd say about the Emirates, when you look last season, we were scoring 4 or 5 goals every single home game. This season, we've really struggled for goals, haven't we? The last 2, we've only got 1 goal in the last 2 WSL games at the Emirates. The game before that was Liverpool, and we struggled there. We got a late goal to win it 2-1. We're just not scoring goals. We've only scored more than, in fact, apart from the first game against London City Lionesses, only 1 game in the WSL at the Emirates have we scored more than once, and that was that Liverpool game. You know, we're struggling for goals in the WSL at the Emirates. So, you know, West Ham have just come back off, like you said, a decent 0-0 result against Man United. They'll be confident they can maybe do the same against us. But if we can get the early goal, hopefully that'll settle us down and we can go on and win the game. I don't think it's going to be the most exciting game, I'm afraid. I just don't think it will be. I think it will be quite a tense game. And I think we're going to have to battle through and find a way to win. I'm sure we will. We're looking solid at the back. I think we'll do enough. If Olivia Smith plays, which she might be rested, I think if she plays, I've got a feeling she'll score again. She's in great form at the minute. I don't think West Ham will be able to stop her. My worry would be she might be on the bench to rest her for Chelsea, but we'll see. And yeah, I expect we'll win. Maybe so. In the end, I think we'll probably win 3-0, something like that. It would be my prediction. What would be your prediction for Saturday?
Yeah, like I said it before, 3-0 was my prediction too. But if you say 3-0, then let's be let's say 2-0 only. But yeah, I hope that we win, and of course an early goal would solve the matter. I saw West Ham twice this season. Once at home against Chelsea, and I think the second was away at Chelsea. And when they played at home against Chelsea, there was after 15 or 20 minutes, Chelsea was up 3-0. So, and they West Ham was so weak in both games. I saw them. I can't think that they will make too many problems for us. Of course, that goalkeeper Semic is good, and they strengthened their defense with Tuva Hansen from Bayern Munich, and they have Katie Zellum on loan from London City now. The 2 attackers I already mentioned, Shakira Martinez and Viviane Asseyi, yeah, good players. But yeah, as you said, our defense is really solid and strong. And yeah, why should we concede against West Ham? Yeah, yes, Shakira Martinez had a good season last year, and she scored against us in this 4-3. But we seem to be more solid in defense, no matter who's playing. And yeah, in the LCL game, it was good that Beth got some minutes again, so she's probably available. We rested Kim after 62 minutes. Yeah, this was.
Oh, has Andreas froze? Have you froze there?
Or was it just Rene was asked by Tim Stillman and I think Tom Gary about the goalkeeper situation, and she said Anneke has a good run, and what she offers was exactly what we needed against London City. It's an interesting position. Only one can play. We have two very good goalkeepers and two goalkeepers in which we trust. The coaching staff trusts both, and we supporters, we feel comfortable whether Anneke is playing or Daphne. It's different than last season when we didn't trust our second goalkeeper, and Daphne had to play due to injuries and had to take painkillers or injections. And now this year we can rely on Anneke. But anyway, it's interesting to see who is playing in goal on Saturday, and probably the one who's in goal on Saturday will play against Chelsea. So is Anneke our new number one? Interesting.
It is interesting, and it's almost come on quite quickly, because even at the start of the season, obviously Daphne has established herself as number one for her performances over the last couple of years anyway, and she's been brilliant. And I don't think Anneke Ball really, there was that game in pre-season against Spurs when she threw the ball in her own net and she looked very nervous, and a couple of games she'd played, and then obviously Daphne's injury, and suddenly she's been put into the team. And wow, what an impact she's had. And you're right, now we've got two goalkeepers that, I can't have imagined being in this position when the last couple of years, obviously we've had Manu who's really, really struggled. And it was like you said, last season, Daphne was playing when she shouldn't have done. She wasn't even fit really in the Champions League final, if we're totally honest, but they patched her up, got her out there. And obviously it was good that she did, because she played well and helped us to win. And now we're in a situation where, well, if one of them goalkeepers is injured, we're not actually that worried, because we know we've got another goalkeeper to come in who's probably just as good. I think they're slightly different style of goalkeeper, aren't they? They're very different, I think, but equally they're both really reliable goalkeepers now. And I say it doesn't really matter. I'm actually now, whoever plays on Saturday, whoever plays against Chelsea, I'm not really that bothered. I know they'll both do a good job and they'll both be the right choice. It doesn't really matter for me who plays. I would be tempted to. I mean, I know obviously Daphne played on Sunday against London. I would be tempted to maybe play Daphne against West Ham, just to give her another game, because I think if she's going to be even in the reckoning for Chelsea, I think she needs a game first. And if you're going to play Anneke against Chelsea, it doesn't matter. She's been playing anyway, so I don't think it would matter if she missed this game. So I would play Daphne this game on Saturday personally if it was me. And then obviously you then got the choice, haven't you, for the Chelsea game, which one you pick, and you can pick either. It doesn't matter for me. It doesn't matter who you pick. You're going to get a decent goalkeeper that's not going to let us down. So and that's the most important thing. But yeah, it's become quite an interesting position in the team now, and it hasn't been really for a few years. It's been quite a frustrating position, because we've had to watch Manu struggle so many times. And it's nice now that we've actually in this position. We've got two really good goalkeepers, and it's a good position to be in. But difficult for Rene, because she's got to make these decisions, picking which one's going to play and which one isn't. And it's hard, because whoever doesn't play is unlucky to miss out, because they're good enough to be playing. So, and I like Daphne. She's always been a goalkeeper I wanted us to sign. She's not let us down, and it's unfortunate at the minute, but I'd have no problems at all if Anneke plays the rest of the season, because she's been playing so well. And you have to say what a fantastic signing she's proved to be. Wasn't expecting her to be this good, I've got to be honest, and she's shocked me, and in a good way, and it's good. But yeah, it's an interesting battle, that one. Top shelves go 4-0 just to be different. Yeah, I mean, it could be, couldn't it? To be honest with you, it could be a game that we could win 5 or 6-0. Or equally, it could be a game that we really, really find difficult, and we maybe scrape a 1-0 with a scrappy goal from a free kick or something. But it's one of them games that could go either way. But either whatever happens, I'm sure we'll win one way or the other. It's either going to be a nice, comfortable, good performance and a good victory, or we might have to battle away and find a way to scrape past it. But either way, I'm sure we'll get those 3 points on the board. And again, that's going to be very, very important, isn't it, for the WSL, which I still don't believe the title race is completely done yet. I still think Man City are going to have some wobbles. And if we can keep winning, who knows? We're not going to be that far away. We've got games in hand. If we can win those games in hand, it's going to put a little bit more pressure on them. So let's see. But yeah, it's a game we should win, obviously. So let's hope we do, and I'm sure we will. And it can be the start of a really, really important week because, of course, after we play West Ham, there is the little matter of a Champions League quarter-final against a team that, well, we know quite well, don't we? I mean, to be honest with you, maybe a year ago, even maybe 6 months ago, this wouldn't have been a game in the Champions League quarter-final I would have looked forward to. I wouldn't have wanted to play them at all in a two-legged quarter-final of the Champions League. I just would not have wanted it probably any time over the last 3 or 4 years, if I'm honest. But now, funnily enough, I'm actually glad that we're playing them. Yes, we've had 2 really good performances against them this season. The performance at Stamford Bridge a month or so ago was probably one of our best performances of the season. It probably was our best performance of the season. And I think at the minute, they're still struggling a little bit. They're not playing well. They're scraping results, as they always tend to do, like they did the other night. But I don't know. I'm really, really confident over 2 legs against Chelsea. The way we've been playing against them this season, the way they've been playing, the form that we're in, I really, really do think we've got such a great opportunity to knock them out. And, you know, of a competition that they'll be desperate to win because, you know, it's the one thing that we hold over them still, isn't it? You know, they've won all these WSLs in recent years. And we've now, not only did we win the Champions League before, we're the holders now. And that must really hurt them. So they're going to be desperate to knock us out. There's no doubt. They're going to give everything to knock us out of this competition. But I think that might play into our hands. I think they'll be playing more on emotion for that reason. And I think we can play on the fact that we know how to beat them now. We should have beat them at the Emirates in the league, let's be honest. The second half performance, we scored, 10 goals in that second half that all got disallowed for no reason. We know we can beat them. And I think that they know that we can beat them as well. And I don't think they're playing well enough to beat us over 2 legs. I just don't think they are. And I'm really, 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 maybe this is going to come back and haunt me, but I'm really, really confident that over 2 legs we'll get the job done and we'll knock them out. I really do think we will. And I think that the players believe it as well. I mean, obviously, it's going to be a massive, massive game. The first leg at home is never easy because you don't know what result you need. You don't know what's a good result, you know. A draw could be a good result if it goes like the league games and we win away. But at the time, you don't know. You want to win your home game, don't you, in a 2-legged game? If you're at home first, you want to take a lead into that second leg. Even if it's a 1-goal lead, I'll be more than happy with. But I actually think we can go there. I think we can win, and we can win by more than 1 goal on Wednesday. I really do. I don't know why I'm so confident. I'm never confident playing Chelsea, but this time I just really feel that we know how to beat them now. And I think tactically, Renee will get this right. I just believe she will. She's got the big games right virtually every time. So, yeah, I'm confident that we'll get this done. But it's going to be a hell of a game, isn't it? It's not ideal in the Champions League. You want to play teams from different countries, don't you? You know, you do want to play the other countries, but it is what it is. And now I say I'm quite glad we're playing them now. I think it's our time again, and I think we'll beat them. I mean, Andreas, are you as confident, or are you a bit more cautious, shall we say, going into this one?
A few weeks ago, my feeling was Chelsea are the favourites for this tie. But things have changed. And right now, I say it's 50-50. It's absolutely open, and we can make it and qualify. But also Chelsea can do it. Our advantage is we have won the last game 2-0 at Stamford Bridge, and that's a big advantage because it's in your mind, and our players know we can beat Chelsea. We nearly have beaten them at home. The referee had something against it, but we can beat them. On the other side, there's a lot of pressure on Chelsea, as you said they desperately want to win the Champions League. And things are going on at Chelsea I don't understand. They have sold Guro Reiten 3 days before the League Cup final. They sold her to the US. And now they sold Katrina Macario to the US. I can't understand it. They have, if they want to let these players go, why before such important games, a League Cup final, a Champions League quarterfinal, and you send two players, two strikers away? They are missing Sam Kerr and Ali Carpenter for the Asia Cup, as well as we are missing our 3 Aussies. In the winter break, they sent Maika Hamano, the Japanese striker, to Tottenham on loan. They have a lot of injuries. Millie Bright, Neve Charles, Natalie Bjorn, Myra Ramirez. They are missing so many players. And for the first time in so many years, I think their squad depth is not enough. And they did nothing in the winter transfer window, and now they are paying the price for it. I think they had 3 players on the bench plus 2 goalkeepers yesterday. Of course, they managed to win against Brighton, but it wasn't a good game and they were not dominant. And 1 goal was scored by Lexi Potter, who had her first start ever in the WSL for Chelsea. I think they will massively hope to have at least Millie Bright back, or Naomi Girma also injured and out. Yesterday, Ritin Kanurit was not in the squad. I mean, it's all playing in our hands at the moment. And even if these players come back, even if Millie Bright is back, she hasn't played for 6 weeks or something like that. And we all know you need to find your rhythm after such a long time. So, it's playing in our hands. And at home, I think on Wednesday at home at the Emirates, we are the favorites and we should be able to win. Maybe it's only 1-0 or 2-1. Doesn't matter. If we manage to win, then there's a big advantage for the next game, for the second leg at Stamford Bridge. Because if they have to trail 1 goal, and knowing we lost the last home game against Arsenal, it's very, very difficult situation for Chelsea. And then the lots of injuries they have to deal with. Maybe players are coming back, but as I said, coming back, they need a few games to find their rhythm, and all this will make the situation very difficult for Chelsea. If they manage to win at the Emirates, then it's all their advantage. But at the moment, yes, I'm not as confident as you are, but I say we have a good chance. Our chances are a lot better than they were maybe 4 or 6 weeks ago, or 3 or 4 months ago. Right now, we can beat them over 2 legs, and maybe in 3 or 4 weeks, when they have all their players back from injury and Carpenter and Kerr back, maybe then they would be too strong to beat them or to eliminate them. But right now, it's possible, and let's have this belief, and I hope that Renee can give this belief to her players, that they all believe we can do it. We can do it again, and and knocking Chelsea out of the Champions League, it would be just fantastic. Players like Lucy Bronze or Kira Walsh, that they are coming to Chelsea or have signed for Chelsea to win the Champions League with an English club. Would be great if they get knocked out by an English club, by the only English club who has won the Champions League. Fantastic situation if we manage to win it. I say we will win at the Emirates with 1 goal difference, maybe 1-0, 2-1. But we have a big chance and we will win it. And on Wednesday we will have 40,000 or so on a Wednesday evening, I'm sure.
Yeah. I know it's going to be a big crowd. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a massive game. It's an exciting game, and I mean, obviously with the players Chelsea have got out as well. Yeah, that is going to. I do think it's a good time for us to be playing them now. Absolutely, it is. And if we're ever going to beat them in the Champions League over 2 legs, it'll be now, because it's all in our favour. Like you said, they've got problems. They've got issues there clearly going on behind the scenes. I think maybe what happened last season was when Bompasta went in, she didn't really make a lot of changes because she didn't need to. You know, the team were winning. And what she's probably realised is that she has to start rotating things her way and bring players in that she wants, getting rid of players that maybe she doesn't want. And it's going to be maybe a little bit of a transition for Chelsea. And maybe they've felt that a little bit this season. They're certainly nowhere near as dominant as they were, as they have been, and certainly as they were under Emma Hayes. And I think that was always inevitable. Whenever a big successful manager leaves a club, there's always a period where things change and it's a difficult time. And I think maybe Chelsea, not only this season, but I think maybe next season as well, might find it quite difficult as they rebuild with the new manager. And I think that's inevitable. And we need to take advantage of that, not only now, these next couple of games, but we have to take advantage of it next season as well, because we're a lot more settled, aren't we? We've had doubts about Renee, and I've had doubts about Renee as much as anybody. But at the end of the day, we've offered her the long-term contract now, and it does give us that stability now to start building. And she's been there. She's been at the club for quite a while anyway. Before she's been, 18 months now as manager, and she's done pretty well. So we've got that stability now. We haven't. Yes, we do need to refresh our squad. We've spoke about this plenty of times. I think that's obvious. We do, but we don't need to make massive wholesale changes. We need to start doing that this summer, absolutely, and I'm sure we will. There'll be a few players leave. There'll be some new faces come in, and we have to do that. But I think we're in a good position at the minute in terms of the stability that we've got as a club, and I think that's important. And hopefully, we can see the real benefits of that over the next couple of years. But for now, it's all about taking advantage of what seems to be a little bit of a mess at Chelsea at this moment in time, for one reason or another. Maybe it's not as bad as it looks, but they certainly don't look as smooth and as dominant as they were before. Top Shelf says there, Chelsea are not what they were, but never let them into the game. They can hurt you. No, absolutely. I mean, they're a top team, and they've got, regardless of the issues that they've got players with that top mentality, haven't they? And they're not just going to come to Arsenal and we're not going to turn them over. If we're going to beat them on Wednesday, we're going to have to work for it and we're going to have to play well. But I just think that we're going into this game in a much better place than what they are. And I think that could be what makes the difference in the end, despite what good players that they've got. Top Joker says, Chelsea thinking ahead. They know they can't win the league, so they're getting to make changes for next year. Yeah, I think they probably are. They're starting to put that process. Big changes at that club. No, I agree. I think there will be big changes at Chelsea. Exactly. And that's, new managers come in and needs to, at the end of the day, she can't, what Emma Hayes did, she can't repeat. She's going to have to do things her own way. She can't carry on Emma Hayes's work because she's a different manager. She's got different ideas and she has to get her ideas across and with the players that she wants. And it's going to be a process for Chelsea. And, it's all very well, we can maybe smile about it a little bit and Chelsea having a few issues, but ultimately we've got to be there to take advantage of it. Man City are taking advantage of it this season. Look at the position they're in. We can't afford to let Man City or anybody else take that advantage next. It's got to be us. We've got to take that role next year. So it's all very well saying, yeah, Chelsea got problems, and they will have, but we've got to take advantage. We've got to be the ones to do it. And we can start that process on Wednesday, can't we? Top says there, the NWSL is making a big push for some top players. Yeah, it's always been like that, though, hasn't it, I suppose? I mean, we've got some top players from there, and now some top players are going back the other way. So let's see what happens in the summer, because there's going to be some big changes. Like you said, for Chelsea, definitely we'll see some changes as well, I'm sure. We need a score prediction really for Wednesday, don't we? At the home game. You're saying a one goal win. I actually think I'm going to go 2-0. I think we'll win 2-0 on Wednesday. I just think we will. I just think we've got everything in our favour, and I think that at the Emirates, we'll be more determined than ever, because we should have beat them at the Emirates this season anyway already. And I think that we'll take in what we did at Stamford Bridge and we'll take that into the Emirates. And I think we'll win 2-0. It won't be an easy game, no. Chelsea will give us problems, I'm sure, but I think we've got momentum with us. I think Olivia Smith is absolutely on fire at the minute. I think she's going to be key, for that game for us. And I think she's going to run them ragged, and I think we're going to win 2-0. And that's going to put us in a great position. I wouldn't say it's over and done with, but we'll certainly, if we can take a 2-0 lead to Stamford Bridge, then we are in a fantastic position, aren't we, to go through. I know last season, we struggled in the first legs, didn't we? That was our problem. We really struggled in the first legs of all those games, and we had to come from behind. This time, I don't know. I just feel that it's in our favour. I think we'll win our first leg this time, and hopefully we'll win it by enough to get the job done. I think we can go and get a draw at Stamford Bridge next week and get the job finished. But let's see. Top Shelf's gone 3-1. Yeah, you see, confident. That's what I like to see. Yeah, I do think we'll win this game by 2 goals. I'm going 2-0 because we're not conceding many goals. Chelsea don't have the goal threat that they maybe once did. Actually, you're saying about Millie Bright. I actually hope Millie Bright does play because, one, like you said, she hasn't played for ages, and 2, she's not as good as she was. And I think we've got the players to exploit her lack of pace. So I actually don't mind if she does play, to be honest. But let's see. I'm not too worried about who plays for Chelsea. I'm more worried about us and how we play. And I think if we play anywhere near our best, we'll beat them. Absolutely, we'll beat them. And they know it as well. I think they deep down, they know it's our time. But we have to go out there and do it. It's no good saying it. We have to go out on a day and the night and prove it. And I'm sure we will, but it's going to be a great game. I'm looking forward to that so much. It's just going to be fantastic. It's always a good occasion against Chelsea, but I'm normally really nervous about them games because we've seen what Chelsea have done to us over the years, but this is our time. I can feel it. And really looking forward to that. So it could be another really good week, couldn't it? If we beat West Ham, keep ourselves nicely positioned in the league, get a good first leg win over Chelsea, set us up really nicely for the second leg. And of course, next weekend is the North London derby. So it's all happening, isn't it? I mean, Tottenham looking at where they are in the league just behind us. That's a massive game, isn't it? It's a more massive game than a North London derby would normally be. We have to win. We can't afford to drop points, can we? With Tottenham, we certainly can't afford to lose. But we'll talk about that obviously next week. Are you going on Wednesday, Andreas?
Yeah, will stay for 10 days in London. So I'm doing the West Ham game, then Chelsea, and then the North London derby. And the day after the North London derby, I'm going to Kings Meadow to watch Chelsea drop points against Villa, hopefully. And then on Monday I'm flying home. Yeah. So next Friday should be okay with Wi-Fi in my hotel. I have to change hotels twice. I've always checking or to check the prices, and from the Premier Inn, the prices were exploding for next week, and so I'm changing to Travelodge, Finsbury Park. So that's also I can walk in 10 or 15 minutes from the Travelodge to the Emirates, and it's especially after the game, not to be relying on the tube and just walking back to the hotel. And then on Friday I have to change again for another hotel. Staying in London for 10 days is not the cheapest thing you can do. So,
no.
Therefore I have to check. But anyway, looking forward for Wednesday. And you say you want Millie Bright to play, but look how they played in defense with Jochen Nüsken, who is a midfielder. She played as centre back, and Verle Boerman, 19-year young player from Netherlands. Normally she's right back, left back. She had to play centre back. So they really have problems. But on the other side, in the attacking line, Alicia Thompson, Aggie Beever-Jones, Lauren James. Therefore, I think they will score 1 goal against us, and that's why I say 2-1 for us.
Well, I mean, 2-1, to be honest with you, any victory to take to the second leg is going to be fantastic, isn't it? Let's be honest. Any victory, because then we can go there with a lead to defend, and I think that's important. Whatever the win is, obviously, the more we win by at home, the easier it makes the second leg, I suppose. But any win will do. If it's 1-0, 2-1, whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's get a win to take there, and then I'm sure we can go there and defend that lead. Bearing in mind, it will open the game up, won't it? If we're ahead and they need to score and they need to win, the longer the game goes on. If we're winning 1-0 from the first leg and then it's 0-0 in the second leg, going deep into the second half, Chelsea are going to have to take risks because they will need to score, and that can open it up for us. And we know how good we can be on a counter attack with the players that we've got. So I think any victory will do me. I'll be absolutely over the moon. Any victory. I just feel at the minute we've got everything in our favour, and we need to take advantage of it. We need to take advantage of the fact that they've got 1 or 2 problems and get a decent lead and almost get the job done after that first leg would be fantastic. But it's not going to be easy. Of course, it's not. It's Chelsea. It's Champions League. They're going to be mad to beat us. They're going to be desperate to beat us in that, aren't they? So, regardless of what players they've got missing or whoever plays, we know it's going to be tough. But I don't know. I think it's our time, and I think we'll do it. I really do think over the 2 legs we'll go through, and it's going to be fantastic. And then who knows? Semi-final again. We'll look. Obviously, we won't get carried away quite yet.
The match day block will be interesting because I was drawn for the players welcome again. So I'll be in the media center where the buses of both teams arrive, and when they leave the bus and enter the dressing room, there I'll be there, and I can record the arrival of both teams. And I think it will be special for our viewers, the match day block, because normally you have no chance to go inside the media center and be so close when they leave the bus and go into the dressing room. I'm looking forward to that too. Was just lucky. It's a lottery random draw, and I can be there again.
Is that for the Chelsea game?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic! Wow, what a game to get that for as well. Couldn't have worked out better, could it? Champions League quarterfinal against Chelsea. Wow, brilliant! That's gonna be good. That so you definitely don't want to miss that vlog, because that's going to be fantastic with the players arriving at the Emirates. I mean, the last one was good as well, wasn't it? I can't remember what game that was. Now, was that Liverpool?
No, for this World Cup against the Morocco team. I was there when the buses arrived, and then in the league, I can't remember. Last year it was Champions League against Valorenga. I'm trying every time. I'll go in this lottery and hope to be drawn, and sometimes it happens. So, of course, I was happy to see that it's for the Chelsea game. It's much better than all the West Ham games.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's better to be at a Chelsea game, isn't it? 100%. You know, what a game to be there for that. That's going to be amazing. So yeah, obviously that's going to make that even a better vlog than it usually is anyway. We've been able to get some really good footage there that we don't normally get to see very often, just because the access is restricted, isn't it? So yeah, no, that's going to be good as well. But yeah, it's a big week. It really is a big week. And I say this could be a week that defines the season in many ways. You know, a good result against West Ham, a good result against Chelsea, and then obviously a good result in a North London derby, and then finishing the job against Chelsea the week after. It's really, I mean, London derby is one after the other at the minute. It's exciting, but I think this is the crucial point in the season, isn't it? It's either all going to go brilliantly well, and we're going to be sitting here next week and the week after, looking forward to brilliant challenges ahead, or we're going to be sitting here thinking that the season's pretty much over and it's all gone to pot quite quickly. We're at that point now, aren't we? This is like the crossroads of the season, and depending on the results in this next couple of weeks, it depends really on where the season goes. That's how important it is. And luckily, we're going into this point in the season in really, really good form. We know we're winning games. We're looking solid. We're looking strong. We haven't got too many injuries. Yes, we're missing the Australians, but we've got players to cope, and it's looking good. But I've said it before. March. You don't win trophies in March. You can play as good as you want. It's what you do when it really matters, the big cup games and the important league games. That's when you know how good a team you are. And this is what we're going to find out now, aren't we, in the next couple of weeks, exactly what this team's about. Can we go on and build on that brilliant effort we did last season to win the Champions League? Can we follow that up with something else, something special this season, whether it be the Champions League again, the FA Cup? So much to look forward to. And yeah, hopefully getting at least top 3 in the league as well. But I mean, it's been a strange season, actually, hasn't it, in many ways? Because although we've had, certainly at the start of the season, we had a few problems. There was some poor performances. We dropped some silly points in the league. The Tottenham game was a really, really poor one, wasn't it? Aston Villa, that was a really poor one at home. And, it's been quite a frustrating season in some ways. But, we've maybe criticised Renee, we've criticised a few things, but you have to say that, she's managed to get it together. And maybe it was a bit of a Champions League hangover early in the season. Maybe that was part of it. Obviously, coming off the back of the Euros as well, a lot of our players had gone far into the tournament. Obviously, we had a few players that won the Euros as well. And it must have been a bit of a come down at the start of the season for a few of our players. And maybe that had an impact. But you have to say Renee's kind of managed to rally the troops, if you like. She's got everybody pulling together. And you have to say that she has turned it around. Either side of the sort of mid-season break around Christmas time, we went into that in a lot better form. We've come out of it the other side in good form, and I want to give Renee credit for that, because I wasn't sure if she had it in her to be able to cope with the real pressure. Yes, I mean it could still all fall apart now. Absolutely, it could, but even so, I think Renee's done a really good job to, after the first 5-10 game, well, maybe 5 or 6 league games of the season, that first part, we lost 2 of the first 3 Champions League games, and it was all looking a bit, I don't know, something wasn't right. We were saying it, wasn't we? The team didn't look right. There was something missing, and Renee seems to have found it. She does seem to have found it. She's got everybody pulling in the same direction as she did last season, and I don't know. I really want to give her a lot of credit for that, because I didn't think she would be able to do it. Honestly, I thought it was a mistake that the club gave her the contract that they did. I didn't think she was ready, but she's pushed on from there since she got it. Maybe she can relax more now. She knows she's in the job for longer. But she's done a really... I mean, do you think she's... obviously she's done a good job overall. She's won the Champions League, and we're doing well this season now. But I didn't think she had it in her to turn this around this season, because I thought this season was gone. And I think she's done well, hasn't she, to pull it around. But what do you think's been the key? Is it the fact that the players have maybe just recovered from the Champions League last season, or is it more, do you think that they've done some extra work in training, or what do you think's happened? Because I'm really impressed with how we've turned this around.
There's development in the team, and also Renee developed as a coach, I think. Our start into the season was really weak. We lost too many points in the first games. Then we lost against Lyon in Champions League at home. Then we had this game away at Bayern Munich when we had this breakdown in the second half in 20 minutes, conceding 3 goals, and to come back from all this, and then in late November, this article from The Athletic about uproar in the dressing room. All these things were negative, and the team came out of this stronger and better than before. And I think Renee and her staff, they developed, they learned from what was not working or what was going wrong. Of course, the hangover from the triumph at Champions League and the Euros, then the injury of Leah Williamson, this hit us really hard. Then we had a difficult start in January with a 0-0 against United when we were not able to beat them, despite we were playing 30 minutes against 10. But then the Champions Cup, this World Cup came, and this changed things also for us. Winning this first trophy of the season, winning at home, and overcoming all these difficulties against Corinthians when this penalty decision was in stoppage time, etc. And all this was part of the puzzle for developing within the team. And Leah came back, and then Chloe came back from injury. So one piece came to another, and you said it before, Renee seems to be able to have the right tactics for really big games. And then the good results in the Champions League knockoffs against Leuven, where we really dominated them, and now the good results in the league before the international break. So it's always easier if you have a winning streak, if you win your games and you can build momentum. But we overcame the difficulties in autumn and winter, and now everybody seems to have belief, or the confidence in the team has grown. It seems as if this is a team again, if you watch them after the games or in the huddle together. And just the videos, the clips on social media, it seems to be a team again. And this wasn't the case in late 25. Yeah, all small puzzle pieces came together, and of course Renee is the one to put it all together. And I agree, she seems to have learned, to have developed, and probably the fact that she knows she will stay in the club for longer. Of course, if she's not successful, if she loses all games, she will be sacked, no matter how long her contract is. But in a normal development, she knows I'll be here for 2 or 3 more years. I can build this team according to what I want. I can try to rebuild, sign players, and the club believes in me and gives me time. Of course, this also helps a young manager.
Yeah, no, I think that's been quite important, actually. Although I didn't necessarily at the time think that the club had maybe made the right decision, but looking back on it now, having maybe her feeling that stability from the club and feeling like she's got time to start building her team, I think that may have made a big difference as well. And yeah, actually, I think you're right about that World Championship as well. I think maybe the confidence that we've got from that, I do think winning trophies breeds success anyway. I think the more trophies you win, the more you're likely to win, because it's a habit, isn't it? And you get that hunger to win more. And I think maybe that's been key as well. We won that trophy, and maybe they thought, you know what, if we're going to win another trophy, we need to start playing better. And it has made a difference. We have played a lot better since then. And it maybe is a lot of different things maybe all coming together at the same time. And those issues at the start of the season, we don't know how true that article was. It seemed at the time to have a lot of truth in it, didn't it? The way we were playing at that particular moment, things that were going on, that kind of made sense. But maybe that was something that gathered them all together and made them realise that actually, we've got to be better. We've got to sort these problems out and move forward in a better way. And they seem to have done that. So, yes, Renee's done great with that. The staff have done great with that, and the players as well. The players have seemed to have got the smile back on their face, which was missing earlier in the season, wasn't it? They wasn't playing with freedom. They wasn't playing as though they were enjoying it. And now they look as though they are again. And that's, at this point in the season, that's the most important thing, isn't it? Because if we can keep playing with if they can keep playing with a smile on their face in these games coming up, then we've got much more chance of winning, I think, because a happy team is more likely to win and can overcome more problems together. So it's been a really good turnaround, actually, and it has surprised me a little bit. I'd almost written this season off, I've got to be honest. I thought it's not going anywhere, it's just going to fizzle out. But actually now I'm really excited at where it could end, because we've now got some big chances in a few different competitions still. So I want to give Renee credit for that, because I didn't believe she had enough about her to be able to do it, and she has so far. Yes, the real tests are coming, I suppose. And like I said, maybe in 2 weeks' time we'll be sitting here saying, well, actually we were wrong, and Renee isn't the right one, and we overestimated her last time. But let's hope not, because I think the players seem to have full trust in her, and I think that's important as well. And the club obviously have trust in her because they've given her a contract, so that's a good sign as well. But you're absolutely right; it's on results, isn't it? If you lose games of football as a manager at a big club, you don't last very long, do you? Generally, so it is all about that. And if we get knocked out of all these competitions in the next couple of weeks, maybe she'll be gone at the end of the season, and we're sitting here saying how great she's doing. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't see that in this team now. I see a team that can get the job done. I see that in this team now. Yes, having Leah Williamson back, I think, has been a big, massive help. I know she's not played that much yet, but she's back and she's going to get stronger. And I think that's been important. But there's been a lot of things that all seem to be falling into place now. just at the right time, as it did last season, if you think, didn't it, as well? Everything seemed to fall into place at the right time, and it ended up, look where it took us. Who knows where it could take us this season. But let's see. This next week and a half is going to decide a lot, isn't it? It's going to decide exactly where this team is at this moment in time and where we're going, and hopefully we'll come out of this in a really strong position to push on. I'm confident now, I must admit. I'm feeling this team is now on the verge of doing something really special again. I can see it in them, and let's hope it's going to be something really special this next week or so, because it's a big week, isn't it? But it's good to be back. It's good to have the games back. It's good to have these games coming thick and fast again. It seems crazy that we get all those weeks without a game, and now they've got to squeeze loads of games in. We've got the Brighton game that got called off. They're squeezing that in later in the season. It's all a little bit hectic, and the scheduling needs to be looked at, I think, in the future. Even Leah Williamson was mentioning it, didn't she, when she was with the Lionesses, about the fixtures and the impact it's having on the players. And I think the people that are running the game have to listen to that. She's England's captain. She's lifted trophies with England. We've got to listen to her. If she says the players are struggling with this, and it's they've got to listen. They have to. They can't just say, well, we don't care. We just want to make the money and sell the game out and all this kind of stuff. No, you have to listen to the players, and they need to look at the scheduling, because it is ridiculous. We went 3 weeks without a game, and now look at our schedule now. The next few weeks, it's crazy. The rest of the season could be crazy. If we're still in the Champions League, it's going to be game after game after game, and madness. But anyway, we can enjoy the games as fans. It's different. But when you've actually got to play them as the players, it's a lot more difficult. We have to understand that they're the ones that have to go through it. We might, we'd be quite happy to watch 3 or 4 games every week because we enjoy it. But we've got to think of the players that's got to go out there and play, and the impact it's having on their bodies and their health and their fitness and all that sort of stuff. So, it needs to be looked at. But at the minute, let's enjoy it. We haven't had games for a long time, so let's enjoy this next week. A lot of games, and I'm sure it's going to be good. But yeah, going forward, I think the scheduling has to be looked at. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. They're cramming games in, having weeks and weeks with no games. It just makes no sense. But anyway, I'm sure that will sort itself. I mean, with next season with more WSL games as well, of course, with the league expanding, so it could be even more crazy next year if they don't sort something out. But we'll worry about that a bit later on. For now, we need to concentrate on beating West Ham on Saturday, concentrate on Chelsea then on Wednesday, the North London derby, and then of course Chelsea again. And let's make this a really good few weeks, an enjoyable few weeks, and a successful few weeks as well. It's going to be good. So yeah, it's been nice to be back on the show again. It's just been hectic last couple of weeks. Obviously, there wasn't games anyway. Last week we was in Scotland, which was good. I actually couldn't watch the game live anyway. We was coming back on Sunday, but obviously I've seen it since. But yeah, hopefully this week will be better. I won't be able to watch the game on Saturday. The 12 o'clock kickoffs are no good, but obviously I'll be there Wednesday. I will be here Wednesday for the Chelsea game, obviously, because that's massive. It's going to be great. So join me for that. Of course, we'll be back next Friday. Andreas, of course, live on location in London is going to be good as always. So we look forward to that. Obviously, hopefully looking back on a couple of good performances, and of course a big week again next week, the North London derby, the second leg against Chelsea. It's all happening, so make sure you stay tuned for all of that. I think the show tonight, I don't know whether or not Top Shelf said before he hadn't got the notification that we'd gone live. I don't know if it's because we haven't had a show for a couple of weeks. I don't know whether that's why YouTube haven't decided to send the notifications out. Hopefully when we start getting back in the rhythm of it again, they will. I know it looks like there's been less people in the chat. There's been less people watching this show. I don't think people knew it was on. Not on our usual night as well. But anyway, hopefully everyone will catch up with it. If you are catching up on this later on, sorry we couldn't do it on the normal night, and sorry we couldn't do a show last week. But we are still here. We are still going to be doing a show. But yeah, it's just been a strange few weeks. But yeah, hopefully we're back to normal next week on Friday. I will be here for the Chelsea game Wednesday. I'm sure you'll all be here for that one. And yeah, hopefully if you are watching this on catch up rather than live, I hope you've enjoyed the show. And hopefully you'll be back with the live show with us again next week, which is going to be really, really good. So a big week ahead. I mean, Andreas, obviously you've got a busy week, haven't you? Because obviously traveling and spending lots of time in London, which is going to be good, I'm sure. Have you enjoyed being back on the show? Not had a show for a while, so it's been good to be back.
Of course, I enjoyed being back, and as I said, I missed the WSL, I missed our talks, and yeah, it's good to be back. And if you see this in the next 2 weeks, we have 5 games. It's crazy. And then there is an international break again, 2 weeks. And
Yeah.
something is going wrong with this scheduling and planning of the match weeks, etc. between the WSL company and UEFA, and you have to, as you said, you have to take it serious. If the captain of the European champions says she does not rule out players to strike and not play every game they have to. I can't understand why we have 5 games in 2 weeks and then another 2 weeks with the international break. Of course, 2 games against Spain, yeah. But why do you need 2 weeks? Take them out of the leagues for another 2 weeks. It's strange, but it's not only a WSL problem. The other European leagues have the same problem. It's international break for everybody. And for me, it will be extremely busy this 10 days in London, and then I return on Monday, and then I'll be in Munich on Wednesday for the second leg by Munich against Man United. And then around Easter, there is in Germany the DFB Cup, the semifinals, Bayern playing at home. So for me, I will need the 2 weeks international break. Oh no, I'm at Wembley for the game Lionesses against Spain.
Oh wow,
busy times. Yeah, but anyway, it's I like to be in the stadium. I like to watch games, and I love to talk about it. And I hope our viewers will watch our show back, and then they will return hopefully next Friday.
Yeah, I think maybe this one's caught people out a little bit, being on a Thursday as well. And obviously, because we haven't had a show for a couple of weeks, we didn't really have a chance to tell everybody it was coming up. It was just, it's all been a bit of a rush. But we will be back to normal over the next few weeks, and as the rest of the season pans out. So, yeah, if you did miss the show this week live, then it's unfortunate, but I'm sure you'll be back. Top Shelf says, "Night boy, see you next time." Indeed, we will. Agnet, you turn up now, Agnet. Look, I mean, it's very late. Well, you are very late. We've nearly finished. You'll have to watch it back along with everybody else. I know no one seemed to get the notifications it was on, but anyway, I will be back on Wednesday for the Chelsea game, so do make sure you join us for that one. And of course, Friday, the big show, as always, ahead of the North London derby, which is a big North London derby this year, isn't it? With the Tottenham they're doing really well, aren't they? So we need to put them back in their little box, don't we? And beat them as always, and put an end to that little drama, them thinking they can catch us. So it's going to be good. It's a busy time. It's an exciting time, and it's good to be back. And we will look forward to seeing all you guys again over the next week or so for some very, very exciting games that's coming up. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be really good. So obviously, thanks to Andreas for being with us again tonight, as always, and thanks to you guys. I know there wasn't so many in the chat tonight, but thank you guys who were there. Asia Cup. Well, yeah, the Asia Cup. Yeah, is that finished now? It'll be finished soon, won't it? Is it this weekend?
The final is on Saturday at I think it's 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. Japan versus Australia. So it's only the final to be played, and a big chance for the so-called golden generation from Australia at home in the National Stadium in Sydney. I think it has a capacity of 82,000 or so. So for me, Japan is favorite in this game, but maybe playing at home with all their fans backing them, and would be nice for our 3 players if they come back to North London and having won another trophy. Let's see, but it would be good.
It would be good. I mean, obviously, all the Lionesses who have got a trophy in the side, it'd be nice if they get their trophy now. Although I still can't quite understand how Australia are playing the Asia Cup when Australia's not in Asia. But anyway, it doesn't matter. They're in the final, and hopefully good luck to all the girls over there at the weekend, and be good to have you back, like you said, with a trophy hopefully as well in the next week or so. It'd be nice. So yeah, that's of course all going off as well. So that's why, of course, they've not been with us, because they've been there getting involved in all of that over there, and I say doing really well. So let's hope they can get that final one as well. Another trophy for our girls, which is always nice, isn't it? The more trophies you win, so it's a habit. Winning trophies is a habit. Once you win one, you want to win the next one and the next one, and hopefully it might motivate them to go on and help us get over the line in one or two of these competitions that we're still in. It's going to be good. So, yeah, make sure if you are at the game, of course, on Saturday at the Emirates and you do bump into Andreas, do say hello, of course, as always. I'm sure Greg will be there, as always. He loves it. He loves getting on the the vlog, doesn't he, as well, which is good. Always good to see Greg. So, yeah, I'm sure he'll be there. And, of course, obviously Wednesday as well. That is going to be such a good game. So we're all looking forward to that. It's going to be a good week. So, yeah, thank you for joining us tonight. If you've watched it on Catch Up, thank you for joining us on Catch Up as well. I'll say thanks to Andreas. Thanks to all you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you Wednesday for the Chelsea game. Don't forget, there'll be Andreas's vlog as well. Probably on Sunday, that will probably come out, I would expect, when I get all that sorted out. And that's going to be really good. And Agneta says, Andreas don't sing. No, Andreas needs to sing. It's better when he sings. Let him sing. It's good. It's the highlight of the vlog most weeks. So yeah, we need to look forward to that. But yeah, don't forget to look out for that vlog. It's going to be good as always, and a very special one on Wednesday as well, of course, for the Chelsea game. So it's all happening. It's all good. It's good to be back. We will see you very, very soon. Take it easy, guys. I would say enjoy the weekend, but we've got Friday to get through first before the weekend. But anyway, it's going to be all good, isn't it? So enjoy the football. We will see you Wednesday. Take it easy, guys. Come on, you Gunners. Let's continue this. Let's do it. Come on.